Hi, I'm Jake, a retail and education assistant here at Askham Bryan Wildlife and Conservation Park, a part of Askham Bryan College. Today we're going to be discussing circadian rhythms. This is the cycle that governs the sleeping and waking patterns for living things. Circadian rhythm is one that applies to a 24-hour cycle, so one day. They're set by things in the environment such as heat and light, and your circadian rhythm means that you will usually feel sleepy at night and awake during the day. The word circadian comes from the Latin circa diem, which translates to approximately a day. It's not just animals that go through circadian rhythms though. They're also seen in plants, fungi, so mushrooms, and cyanobacteria, which are blue-green algae. But today we're going to focus on the circadian rhythms of some of our animals here at the zoo, and some of the terms we use to describe circadian rhythms in different animals. An animal's circadian rhythm regulates the processes that occur in the body over the course of the day, things like eating, sleeping and mating, and also bodily functions like producing hormones and also if they need to poop. Your circadian rhythm is controlled by a part of your brain known as the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus connects to your nervous system, the part of your body that gives you information about what's going on, and your endocrine system, which controls your hormones, which are what tell your body what to do, when. The first type of circadian rhythm is one that most people will already know the name of, and that is nocturnal. It means that an animal is active at night and rests during the day, pretty much the opposite of ours. Adaptations of nocturnal animals include large eyes, lots of rod cells in the eyes, which see light rather than colour, helping animals see better in low light conditions the more that they have. The tapetum lucidum, this is like a mirror in the eye that reflects light to the rod cells, and you will often see this in things like cats and dogs. Large cupped ears, which collect more sound, working very much like a satellite dish collecting signals, but rather than the signals, sound. Asymmetrical ears. This allows certain animals, like owls, to hear in direction so that they can better spot prey. Echolocation, sending sounds out and being able to locate things once those sound waves reflect back to them. A great sense of smell and the use of scent marking to show your territory. Whiskers or other tactile senses to help you find your way around. And bioluminescence, making your own light to either communicate, especially when mating, or to find food. Some examples of nocturnal animals are hedgehogs, foxes, some owls and bats, and some that we have at the wildlife park, stick insects, porcupines, red-eyed tree frogs and great hairy armadillos. The next type of circadian rhythm, diurnal, we're diurnal animals and we're usually awake during the day and asleep at night. For many diurnal animals, the presence of light causes a rise in temperature, heart rate and blood pressure in preparation to wake up and begin foraging or perhaps hunting. It also delays the release of melatonin, the hormone which makes you sleepy. Adaptations of diurnal animals include more cone cells in the eyes, so to see colour rather than differences in light. Colourful fur, skin or feathers, either to help with display for mating or to deter predators. Adaptations for heat regulation, because they're out in the sun, they need things like big ears to help them cool down. Camouflage to help hide from predators. As much as you might want to display, you might also want to hide. Dark eye circles to help deflect sun glare. As an example of this, meerkats, if you ever get a chance to look at their eyes, they have dark patches around them. Some examples of diurnal animals are bearded dragons, bees, grey squirrels, many butterflies and many songbirds. Whilst nocturnal and diurnal seem to cover the whole 24-hour cycle, there are a few other words for animals that are a bit more specialist, so they are only awake at very specific times, or adaptable, so they may be able to be awake at different times whenever they like. Speaking of specialist circadian rhythms, the next one I'm going to be talking about is crepuscular. Crepuscular animals are ones that are active during dawn, so the first thing in the morning, or at dusk, so early evening. Some examples of crepuscular animals are chinchillas, mice, skunks, wallabies and tenrecs. Some animals are only active at dawn. These would be referred to as matutinal. Matutinal animals are active during early morning, just before sunrise. This could be for foraging, it could be looking for a mate also. Some examples of matutinal animals are blue shark and some bees. Animals that are only active at dusk, so early evening, are vespertine animals. Some examples of vespertine animals are some bats and some owls. The last example of a circadian rhythm is cathemeral, and cathemeral animals are active intermittently through the day and the night. And some examples of cathemeral animals are lions, fossa, brown lemurs and raccoon dogs, but this depends on the season. To finish off, I'm going to talk about some strange animal sleeping habits. Koalas are the longest sleeping mammals, sleeping for as many as 22 hours a day, which must make for a very busy 2-hour slot of eating. In contrast, the giraffe has the shortest sleeping time of mammals. Despite being the tallest animal, it can get by on just 30 minutes of sleep a day. Even though fish do not sleep in the same way that land mammals sleep, most fish do rest. Fish may reduce their activity and metabolism while remaining alert to danger. Some fish float in place and some wedge themselves in a secure spot in the mud or coral. We know several bird species can travel vast distances non-stop, promoting speculation that they must nap mid-flight. Great frigate birds can fly continuously for up to 2 months, and the male sandpiper can largely forgo sleep during the breeding season, hinting that it may also be possible for birds to stay awake during prolonged trips. When marine mammals sleep and swim at the same time, they're in a state like napping. Young whales and dolphins rest, eat and sleep while their mother swims, towing them along in her slipstream. This is known as ECHELON swimming. At these times, the mother will also sleep on the move. She cannot stop swimming for the first several weeks of a newborn's life. If she does for any length of time, the calf will begin to sink. It is not born with enough body fat or blubber to float easily. Now that's it from me today. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to see more videos all about our animals. And remember, keep learning to protect nature.